one of their top players in Winnipeg. He fit in on the depth chart. Where was he on the depth chart in Winnipeg? 5, 6, or 7?
Yeah, I don't know in terms of usage. Yeah.
All right. We'll pick up this conversation. In the meantime, let's welcome in Ken Holland, General Manager, Vice President of the LA Kings. Ken, thanks for joining us, man. I imagine, the last couple of days, pretty interesting for you and your new hockey club.
Yeah, it really was probably a couple of weeks in advance leading up to July 1st, doing all the preparation and meeting with the people and going through our cap and what things we wanted to accomplish. Lots of talks with other general managers about trades. Ultimately did something with Steve Staios in Ottawa. And, we're pleased with where we're at and looking forward to getting to training camp. I'll work the phones a little bit over the summer to see if somebody slips through the cracks, but we feel good where we're at.
I want to get into a few names for sure, and the decisions to add depth to your blue line. But just first of all, Ken, just take us back a little bit and where you were when you left Edmonton and the thought of, what's next for Ken Holland. I got to tell you, buddy, if I had your Stanley Cups and your success under my belt, and most importantly, your money, Ken, if I really had your money, I wouldn't have touched another job like this with a 10-foot pole. So why another crack at running a hockey club now?
When we got into February and March, actually my wife asked me how I was thinking, Cindy, and I said that I kind of had the itch, and if the phone rang with the right opportunity, I'd be interested. LA was a perfect fit for a whole lot of reasons, personally, professionally. Professionally, I had a relationship with Luc Robitaille. It's a good hockey team, great ownership. Lots of really good players here. Rob Blake and his people have done a real good job in rebuilding the team. Personally, it's out west, and we're Western people. When I'm on a road trip, it'll be easy for my wife to jump on a plane and fly to Calgary to see our daughters and grandchildren, or go to our place in British Columbia. And we expect to have lots of company down here. So, I wanted to make sure that the move was good, not only for me, but for my wife. And so I'm excited to have this opportunity and see if I can make a little bit of a difference here.
Ken, I'm a Western guy myself. It's been fun following your career. I remember you used to be around the rink when I was at the Vernon Vipers back in the day, and seeing all the success you've had. So, with you staying out west, how quick is this or how easy is the transition from Edmonton to LA been? You probably knew the Kings roster and players as well as you did any other team in the league.
Yeah, obviously we have played the 3 series against them the three previous years. So, you know what? I watched a ton of hockey this year, and I watched, I'd say 6 to 8 teams closer than the others. LA was one of them, because of Warren Fogle and former Oiler, and it's out west, and I could kind of finish my night scouting with a game from the West Coast. So between our series and then watching them a lot this year, I had a real good feel for the team. They had a tremendous year. Obviously, they just haven't been able to get by Edmonton. But out of the 4 series they played, 3 have been real close. And so, we made some moves here over the last few days that we hope make us a little bit bigger, deeper, and better. And it's going to be hard to make the playoffs. A lot of teams in the West got better, so it's going to be a real grind to try to get into the playoffs. But we feel good about where we're at right now.
You're watching and listening to Ken Holland, General Manager, Vice President of the LA Kings. Okay, let's talk about some of those additions, including Joel Armia, Corey Perry, and the one that many people are kind of wondering is the decision to go with Cody Ceci and Brian Dumoulin and not re-sign Gavikov. So essentially you're adding 2 players for the price of 1. So tell us the reason behind that.
Well, Gavrikov was a very important player on the team. We tried to re-sign him before I got here. Rob Blake had tried to made an offer and tried to re-sign him. I went beyond Rob Blake's offer. I guess ultimately didn't really get any counter offers, so I really wasn't sure if he wanted to be here or didn't want to be here. And in the last couple of days, it heated up. Ultimately, he made a decision to go to the New York Rangers. He was really important in the top four last year, but especially important in the penalty kill. Cody Ceci kills penalties. Dumoulin kills penalties. The team was good in the penalty kill last year, so we have to make sure that we continue to be good in the penalty kill. So brought in a couple of defensemen that have penalty killed in other situations. So that was on defense. And up front, the team struggled on the power play probably till Kuzmenko got here at the trade deadline. So made a decision to re-sign Kuzmenko on a one-year deal. And then Corey Perry can help the power play. Both guys shoot right because everybody else shoots left. You're talking to Jim Hiller. It was important to find one righty, maybe two righties that can go on the power play. Corey Perry's a net front presence. Kuzmenko will play, off on the side and can distribute the puck. And then Armia also is a good penalty killer. I think he was one of the top forwards in the National Hockey League in time on ice last year in the penalty kill. So you need to be good in the special teams. I guess we look at the team that, up until the trade deadline when they added Kuzmenko, we've kept Kuzmenko, we've brought in Armia and Perry, and then Dumoulin and Ceci on the back end, and Forsberg is a backup. So believe we're better, believe we're deeper. So, but you know what? You got to get to September and October. It's got to happen on the ice.
So, the staple of the Kings for so long has been Anze Kopitar being such a rock for that organization for years. And it feels like now is kind of the time for some guys to, I don't want to say pass him, but be more important to the team. Where do you see Quinton Byfield's development and how he's going to be used and how much you guys need him to take a step next year?
Well, Quinton's incredibly important to the team. Like you said, Kopi's 37 years of age. He's going into the last year of his contract and make a decision at the end of the year, I guess. I talked to his agent, Pat Brisson, and we said we would talk, let's get through the year and see where he's at. Hopefully we have a good year. He wants to come back, but in the meantime, Quinton Byfield is, he's a 6'4". He's a big centerman. He can skate. He's competitive. He's coming to the age now where his role and his importance, his time on ice, his matchups are going to be even more difficult than they've been in the past. And that's if for any team to take a step, part of it is internal growth. And Quinton Byfield is really important. Laferriere, and Brant Clark on the back end. Turcotte, who was kind of used, I'm going to say, like a Swiss Army knife, was used all over. With bringing in Perry and Armia, we think that one of the options for